I bought 2 more Touaregs from Copart that were crashed. I already swapped the bumper, so it does need to get a rebuild title for it.
The inspection is at 11 o'clock. Maybe get this done.
So I did manage to fix the car or finish putting the hatch together. Took some time and we made it. I mean, I basically didn't have a spare minute. The car has a pretty significant oil leak, but the thing is that my lift is currently taken up by my V8 Touareg, so I haven't been able to get the car up in the air and get a decent look. But we're currently on the way to the rebuild title inspection. Here in Wisconsin, they do get a car on the lift and they look under the car, which is why I'm afraid of the oil leak situation. I've degreased and pressure washed the car right before leaving, so hopefully it's gonna save us. And I am gonna be upfront with the inspector. I'm gonna mention, hey, like right off the bat, I'm gonna tell you there is an oil leak and explain the situation of why I haven't been able to fix it yet. The hatch is installed, all the lights work. Besides getting this car inspected, we're also inspecting a motorcycle that basically I bought from Copart for a friend. So I'm acting as a broker. I am buying this car from Copart for him using my dealer's license. He does all the work in repairing it, and then I show up to the rebuild inspection. The bike is titled in my name, but as soon as we get the rebuild title for it, it's gonna be sold to him. By the way, if that's something you guys are interested in doing, that is a service I provide. For one, I'm able to buy you guys cars from Copart. If you're interested and you don't have a dealer's license in a state that requires that, feel free to reach out to my Instagram and my YouTube profile. You'll find that. And for people in the state of Wisconsin, I can help you with getting rebuild titles as well. We can probably work something around with other states as well. It's just gonna be a little bit more of a pain in the butt. Okay, unfortunately, we failed the inspection. I wouldn't say we failed. Basically, what we ended up doing with the inspector is we completed all paperwork as a pass. However, it's not going to be sent in until I come back with these issues fixed. First one, it'll be easier to show on this car, because what that car didn't have is horn. It was very dumb of me to not check that. I really should have done that a long time ago, but it became pretty apparent that that car has had some front end work done in the past. Basically, right here in this area, we noticed that there was a missing or completely unhooked harness there, and we weren't sure what that was for. What I noticed on that car is that these horns, I mean, they were there, however, there was nothing plugged into them. But this whole harness was completely missing. I've also noticed that the ambient air temperature, it is not displayed in the car. That was issue number one. Issue number two was right here in the back seat. Another thing that I should have checked and I didn't, one of the latches for the seatbelt buckle is missing all these plastics here. I think you could probably still get into it, but it's broken. And unfortunately, because of that, our seat got ripped up. I think this is just due to people trying to put down seats without lifting up the bottom. So if you're not familiar, basically you pull on this guy and then the seat comes up, and then you fold this down before you put the backs down. And if people try and put the seats down with this still in place, you end up getting this. And this rear belt, it's just completely stuck in here, and there's nothing we can do, and that probably has something to do with why this is ripped. All we have to do is just fix these issues and bring it back. What's very unfortunate is that I had a parts car that had all of these parts, and I could have used all of that, but I already got rid of the parts car. It went to the scrapyard because I needed to empty out some room in the shop, and well, it is what it is. I get a lot of shit for being such a hoarder. I mean, you guys saw how much crap I have in my shop. I mean, it's an absolute mess in here, but the reason for that is because I feel like every time I'm working on something, I need a part, and I remembered I used to have it, and at some point I got rid of it. And it would be very nice to have a very big facility where I can just store all crap that I might need someday in 20 years. I've discovered the old harness right here. Looks like it has been cut for whatever reason. Basically, I've fed our new harness. We just got to stick it into there and try and grab it from this side and then plug it into all the corresponding devices. Here is the wiring harness that is connected to the car. I think I've cleared out most of the corrosion. However, it seems that we're still not making good enough contact with the ground here. So what I ended up doing is I pulled out the other side of this. Here it is. and I grounded it manually. The horn did end up working, however the ambient temperature sensor wasn't working, which makes sense because it has a separate ground. One of these other wires is for the ambient temperature sensor. Ideally, I would have replaced this whole plug by just cutting off these wires and soldering in a new one. But unfortunately, I don't have another one of these plugs. I don't have a parts car anymore that I could pull that off of. Quick splicers, or splices, whatever. I'm gonna feed that in right here. We're also gonna add our new wire that we're using to jump, lock that in place. We got horn, so now that works, and we can work on this guy. Okay, the good news is that we passed the inspection on the other Touareg. Everything is fine now. We just have to wait for the paperwork. And now I still have to fix a couple of little issues on the car before selling it. Now let's just finish this one up. There we go. And now we just do the same thing in reverse. I did almost forget a very important piece to this assembly. Headlight release system on Touaregs is very odd. Let's imagine the headlight is inside the car. What you would do to remove it is twist this little, 3/8 knob here, whatever you want to call it. You would rotate that in the direction of the headlight moving out, which I don't know if you're seeing this, gets the headlight to move out maybe like an inch or so. But then there's this metal clip right here that keeps that from happening any further. Push down on this clip as you're pushing out the headlight. There we go. And mainly because of this here is why I didn't just go ahead and order new headlights from eBay, is because those headlights do not come with these brackets. And I would hate to have to find these or buy these brand new, because I would either have to order them from somewhere in Lithuania, stock, and wait 3 weeks for them to get here after paying like $200, or go to a junkyard and get both the headlight and this for a very affordable price. I get both of these headlights with brackets, as well as some taillights and a bunch of other miscellaneous stuff I need for my other projects. All of that for like 120 bucks. So a lot of money saved, and we have our OEM stock parts. But what I almost forgot about is that I need to install these to the radiator support before I mount the radiator support to the car. The way this is mounted to the radiator support, there are 2 bolts up front, and there's also 2 bolts in the back of the radiator support right here. And if I try to put these on with the radiator support mounted to the car, it would be next to impossible. You know, I was gonna go home and finish this later, but honestly, all we have left is the hood latch, the bumper, the little bracket that goes right here, and I think that's about it. I don't really have to do the hood right now. I can do that later on. We can put this thing together, take it for a drive, and go from there. Because I still have no idea what this car is like mechanically. Never drove it, not once. Actually, before I'm on the bumper, I should probably fix this headlight fitment, which I think should be pretty easy with these brackets here. If only I can find my Torx. So while I was looking for my Torx, I looked under the car and saw the little puddle over there. This is fine. This is from power steering that we already fixed. But back there, the only thing that I can think of that would leak there is the transmission. And if you are new here, when I bought this car on Copart, the pictures that Copart provided had a transmission limp mode. I wonder if there's a possibility that the transmission ran out of fluid and is blown. That is very, very scary. Yeah, okay. We definitely have a transmission fluid leak right from these connectors. That is very, very bad, especially if they ran low enough to cause issues. However, maybe the limb mode is simply caused by these connections shorting out and not acting properly. I certainly hope that's the case, but we can't know that for sure, so we're not going to be driving this thing today. So usually when I get to the shop, I work up until I'm just about to run out of will to live. So that about did it for me, and we're going home. I hope you enjoyed this video more than I did, and please like and subscribe if you did. Have a good day.